Yo, what's going on, Boo Bears? You're tuning into another Mario Ramon review, and today we're gonna review Ayanla Van Zant Fix My Life, Season 7, Episode 8. It was like, I don't know, emotional gumbo. I was so emotionally bipolar by this, but let's get into it. I picked that particular song because it's the OJ's family reunion. And I think that whole family needs to get together and play some board games and play some spades and, play some good music and just enjoy each other as a family because it appears that they just don't do things to connect and to bond. The name of the main person of this particular show is Mark. Mark is 55. Mark is a strong dad. He reminds me a lot of my uncles, in his age range. And I'm not too far from him, but, he is in a generation before me, and it's that old school generation where men are men, they take care of their ladies, and they're a generation away from pulling the ladies by the hair and dragging them. Like, hey man, the reason why I say that is because the method of thinking. I'm a man, you're a lady, I go to work, you wash dishes, and the ladies are like, I'm not having that. That's old school. And see, I remember back, the reason why I know this is I remember back when I was younger and we went to Holiness Church. Excuse my language, but the pastors wanted the ladies to look homely. No makeup. Now, I'm not saying they call, because if you did wear lipstick and fingernail polish, you were a Jezebel. That's the first time I ever heard the word Jezebel. So I'm just trying to say the method of thinking of which this man may have come from, possibly, and it's just like the way, people were raised back then. So I don't think that he meant harm. And another thing is, people feel that, men feel like, okay, so if I'm taking care of the house and you don't have to worry about nothing, you ain't got to worry about toilet paper, nothing, then whatever I say goes. And you should be happy. That's the least you could give me is happiness because I'm giving you shelter and food and clothing and all that shit. So I don't give a shit. We watching what I want to watch. We doing what I want to do and all that. And in a sense, you're trapped. And when Ayanla Van Zandt asked his wife, "Do you love him?" and do you want to? Do you love him, or does he have your heart? And the wife said no, and Ayanla Van Zandt called her a hoe. I passed out. I said, Ayanla Van Zandt, she throws in Mike Tyson jabs. It's not like a small one. She could have said, well, that would be whoring. Some people think that that's whoring. She said, you a hoe. And I literally clutched my imaginary pearls and tilted my head. I just couldn't believe it. And then she called him a park ape. She said, you have a park ape living in your house. I stopped that TV right then and there and I said, Google, what the fuck is going on with park ape? You got to tell me what this means, Google. And it came up with a underprivileged, ugly black Negro. I was like, fuck, breaking my neck and killing myself, honey. What is the highest building that is open in Los Angeles that I can jump from right now, tonight? All the buildings were closed, so praise God. But if it wasn't no COVID going on, I might not have been able to do this review. I would have been doing this review in the middle of falling from a building. Hey everybody, this is Mario Ramon, and I gotta hurry up and do this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment before we hit the ground. Right. I would have been doing it jumping from a fucking building. She called him a park ape. Ayanna, she be going forward. I mean, it's kind of like some sorcery shit that comes out of her mouth. I don't know if that was a voodoo, like a Yoruba priest hex. Was that a hex? So let's get into it. Let's get into Mark. The video started out with him showing a video. The reason their family is here is at Fix My Life is because he recorded a video saying things that he felt that would, I don't know. He was saying things that would make most men proud that they can do it, but maybe most men don't bring it up in your face all the time. People who really do it and do it careless, and effortless, and they love their family and they just do it. They don't bring it up because like I said, he remind me of my uncles. He remind me of my uncles. My uncle, he don't let he respects his wife to this day so much. He calls her Miss Rachel. Oh, Miss Rachel don't work. I put money in Miss Rachel's account. She can go get whatever she want in this motherfucking city. Like, he's proud about that shit, and he's worked his whole life for that. And the proudness comes from somewhere that if you're not of that generation, you don't know. And let me tell you why. I'm gonna break it down for you. The reason why he is so proud like that is because you don't know. During let's break it down. It even goes to slavery. During slavery, they broke up, families, the institution of marriage. And so then after slavery, we still had to get humiliated and embarrassed in front of our family. Hey, boy, come over here and shine my shoe. And your wife is right there. Or your children are right there. How much money you got in your pocket, boy? I'm hungry. Give me that money in your pocket. I've heard stories of people who I love very much, and they will tell me stories like this shit. So it's humiliating and demasculating your husband in front of his wife and children. So it also stems from back in his era. If he didn't drink from color and white water fountains, his mom did. And so it was remnants of getting raised with that mentality. So the fact that he can work and take care of his wife for 19 years is a huge freaking accomplishment for him. And it is a huge freaking accomplishment. Kudos to Mark for that. Seriously. I don't give a shit what happened and how loud he yelled and shit. Y'all ain't dead and y'all ain't got no. And I'm not saying I want him to abuse or anything, and that's not what I'm saying, because the family just looked over it. They all looked over it. But kudos in that one particular thing, being able to work and take care of his family. That's where that proudness comes from. And with proudness comes passion. And if you're not passionate about it, you're halfway wiping your ass. In order to be all the way in it and care and give, you have to be passionate. Sometimes people take passion for meanness or aggression, being aggressive. It's not being aggressive because somebody is being passionate. Okay? Now, and like I said, it can be misread as aggressive. Now, the fight with him and his son, his son jumped on his back or something when he was in the 6th grade, and he flipped his son over, and then the sister got into it, and then he told his kids, I will kill you. Once again, it's old school. You put your hands on me in my house. I brought you in this world, and I'll take your ass out. Go over there and shut the fuck up before I give you something to cry about after they pulled your arm out and beat your ass with your own arm. Mop that motherfucking blood up and go over there and sit the fuck down and shut up before I give you something to cry about. That's where that comes from. And back then, they'll hit you with extension cord, an iron, a motherfucking TV, a lamp, a phone. Go out there and pick my switch. Go and pick me a switch so I can beat your ass. Go on. And don't you come in here with no little switch. Don't make me go out there and pick the switch. Word? Go get in the bathtub so I can whoop you. Huh? What the fuck does water have to do with being chastised? Because I want you to be wet when I whoop you with this belt. So all this motherfucking shit going on. But that's how black people raise black children. Because I feel that it comes from slavery once again. It's just, you can't tell me before slavery, our ancestors that were here were beating their kids with whips and belts and switches and throwing TVs and shit. You cannot tell me that. I don't believe that. And the families that taught them, all the masters that taught the people all this whipping and all of this shit, their kids up in there playing in the big house. They don't get their ass beat like that. I guarantee you, None of them kids got their ass beat like that. And in the meantime, we fucking our kids up, body slamming them and shit. No, it has to stop. And the one thing we have to do is what this family did. And kudos to Mark for reaching out to Ayanna Van Zant, because so many men are so proud. He felt his family was slipping away. You know, when you hold it on the rope, and if your hand just gives a little moisture of sweat, you go let go of that rope. His family was about to let go of the rope. So kudos to him, because a lot of men don't see therapy. They don't think anything is wrong. Like, this is my house. What I say goes, and that's that. But no. So kudos to him. And more black families need to do this so we have a lot of hurt. We have a lot of hurt. I can't speak for you. I have a lot of hurt in my family. I have a lot of hurt in my family. People not talking about my personal siblings. I have I have a sibling I haven't talked to in 2 years, and then I have two siblings I haven't talked to in 2 years, and my sister and my brother haven't talked in 3 years. Hurt, hurt. I guarantee you they can't tell you why they don't talk. Hurt, and we don't talk about it. And if we talk about it, it ends up arguing, just like his kids did. When his daughters were arguing with each other, that was familiar to me. And then it was to the point where even the way when she got up and got in the face, all that shit was familiar. I was like, pass me the peas. Pass me the peas, baby. It's okay. They hugging. That's what they doing right now. They hugging. That's their way of greeting each other. They don't even feel it's normal if they don't talk like that, because that don't come from nowhere. That's years. You know you can't do nothing with me. I mean, sister got up in her face, and rightfully so, because they kept coming for each other wrong. And the reason why I say rightfully so, she's the older sister. I think she's the older sister, and I think that the older siblings should have a little bit more respect, but they need to give a little more respect. You only get what you give. And you know Iyanya Van Zant was like, oh, y'all are acting like park apes up in this house. I cannot imagine the inside voices inside Iyanya Van Zant's head when these people are on her show acting like this. She already called Naffy a gutter snipe. She called him a park ape. And she just tells everybody to call their mother a bitch. I have your back. You can call her a bitch. Say it. Give it voice. Give it volume, beloved. Give it volume. Side note. This is a side note. I hear Iyanya Van Zant saying this is her last season, and it's one of the best. But my thing is this. Iyanya Van Zant is like a treasure to the black community and world. I think she focused more. I don't know. I don't know if she focused more on black families or black families reach out to her more because we are more cognizant about her services. But what I want to say is she's no different. She is the Whitney Houston of therapy. Like, nobody can touch Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Nobody, in my opinion, can touch Iyanya Van Zant the way she does her therapy. She'll bring out dirty laundry. She had that I don't know where she found that prop from, but she done found a whole entire king's chair. And she like, you sitting there, but you don't deserve to sit there. I mean, she be talking to us the way we need to be talked to. But she does it visually, because most people are visual learners. Some people aren't, but most people are visual learners. And so when she gives it to you like this, and when she threw all those bricks on Lisa Ray, and I'm just saying, the way her therapy is, and you're not going to like it, because the truth does hurt sometimes. Coming to grips hurt. And my favorite thing about this particular show with Mark is he sat in a whole nother room, and the people they weren't even cognizant he was watching. And they were able to tell their true feelings. And he needed to hear that shit. Because if he was in the room, he would have did a rebuttal. That's not how that went that night. No, shut the fuck up. It is my turn to talk. You've been talking for 19 years, it appears. This is how your talking for 19 years has made me feel. Yes, you are giving me show turn, all that stuff, but you don't own me. I am a human. I am your companion, your confidant. You you took that on as your responsibility, and I can work. Shit. And she says she's a principal somewhere, so it's not like, she just sitting home humming until he gets home. Somebody's calling my name. She's not sitting at home, singing Negro spirituals until he gets home. Hell, she's somebody too. And she cute. And I just felt all her pain. And the thing is, it's just triggering. When I'm sitting here watching the show, it just triggers a lot of emotions. And sometimes I have to pause the show and get up and go walk, to the kitchen or walk to the back of the house. And I'd be like, ooh, I gotta breathe, and talk about something because it becomes too heavy, honestly. And so that's what I was saying. Ayala Van Zandt is the Whitney Houston of what she does. And I don't think that she should end her season now. We should petition for Ayala Van Zandt Fix My Life to stay on like we did the game. Let's get this party started. Miss Van Zandt, you ain't even gotta walk because it look like them shoes be fucking your feet up sometimes. She'd be like, ooh, oh, ooh. And I love her. But that's okay. You can wear a kitten heel or you can wear a tennis shoe like Kamala Harris. You can wear a tennis shoe, go in conjunction with Nike or something or New Balance. I don't know, and get your initials on the tennis shoe, honey. Come on, let's work this out. But we need you. We need you. She's needed. She's blessed, she's anointed, and she's needed. Miss Van Zandt is needed, and the way she helped us is, you could tell she's been through some stuff in her life. She goes straight there. It's kind of like she knows. You know how a chef knows flavor. Oh, that just needs a little time. And I ain't talking about time. That needs a little oregano. Hold on. 2 more squeezes of lemon juice. Set it off. She knows therapy like a chef knows recipes. I've never seen anything like it. It's almost supernatural. And even Oprah got a little moist under her arms when Ayala starts doing it. She was like, that's the only person Oprah has ever given her show to. Because, you can't give nobody your mic, honey. You'll be working for them. But Oprah was like, you know what? There's some supernatural shit going on right here, honey. And this is back in the time when Oprah, she had just got finished saying, caller, you say what? Remember when the callers used to call in and they'd be talking on the little speaker? Caller, you say what? Caller, you say what? And if you are too young to remember that, then I don't know what to tell you, Pumpkin Lamb. Ayala Van Zandt had to call Dr. Perry out, who he focused on the boys, on the men, not the boys, Mark is a man, but he focused on the men and his son, Mark's son, and about their physical, confrontations and everything. And I think I think he came up with a very good point. The father and son need to start doing something once a week. It didn't look like the son was buying into it because he may not totally be sold into it just yet, but eventually they will grow to have a relationship. And that's what they don't have right now. They're blood, they're family, but they don't have a relationship. And just because you have a stick shift car doesn't mean you know how to drive it. They have a stick shift car and don't know what to do with it, honey. Gotta wait for somebody to come over, so take them to the store. The wife, when she said, I need you to let me go, I'm on his side. I thought that's what she was saying too. I was like, oh shit, she's out. Because she just kept saying, Ayala Van Zandt took the ring off her finger and all that, and she was like, I need you to let me go. To me, that meant divorce. But then he got mad at her. He was like, we said we weren't going to talk about that. When we're doing healing, no. You can't go to the doctor and tell him you don't smoke when you smoke a pack of Newports a day. You're defeating the purpose. You're missing a key thing that might have your heart jumping. You go in there, going to a cardiologist, your heart jumping. Well, do you smoke? No. No. You better not say nothing. That's not how you get therapy. You got to say something. If you're allergic to seafood in a restaurant, bitch, you better say something. It's going to cost you your life. If you don't say something and you don't tell these therapists everything, it can cost you your marriage. And that one little key thing was the thing you needed that would have cost you your marriage had you not told Iyanya Van Zant that, okay? I'm just saying. You cannot go to the doctor and don't tell them you don't smoke, whether it's reefers or Newport. If you drink a cocktail a day, tell them you drink a cocktail a day. No, I might drink on the weekends. You're a liar. Now you're lying. It's a whole nother show now, Tyra. In closing, I thought the show was over until his 18-year-old, Mark's 18-year-old, said, I want to ask my grandmother something. And Iyanya Van Zant thought the show was over. Now we got to have a part 3 on the show that already lasted for 2.5 days, because this show was like 2.5 days. It must have been 48 hours. It felt like it was 48 hours. And I thought we were at the end. The family was going to do good. I wanted to see the little writing. Mark and his wife are living happily ever after. You know, Jaden and his sisters, they get together every Saturday and play, spades. Oh, no. It was like to be continued. I said, to be continued. There's still more. The grandmother came out with the biggest bomb of all. I said, oh, this is where it comes from. I be telling y'all. It comes from the generations before. We're going to have to Google generational curse. Google how to break a generational curse, because a lot of families have them. The shit is real. I ain't got no curse on me. Fuck you. Fuck you, Antoine. If I don't call, you can call. The phone works both ways. Stop the hold up. Whoa. First of all, who you talk to? You don't talk to anybody in your family like that. You don't give more respect to a stranger and people in the street than you give your mama or your brother. That's the reason why I don't talk to my brother. The reason why I don't talk to my brother is because the last time I saw him on Christmas, 2 years ago, I went to my mom's house. I flew there 2,000 miles away. I leave the beach to go over and get abused. I'm just saying, it's the truth. And I told my mom, I said, listen, Mom, I love you so much to smithereens, but I am in the comfort of my own home where I can control the positive energy. I don't want to come to Cleveland and deal with Cleveland shit. Now, I have the right as an adult to protect myself against elements of things that I don't do. I said, I don't want, I'm going to be honest, I don't want my brother there. I get off the plane, I go to my mother's house. He's the first person, hey, what's up, Rio? I was so angry at my mother, I could have pulled my head off and just threw it at her. I'm being honest. Y'all want some honesty? I could have pulled my head off and threw it at my mom. And been walking around that motherfucker all holiday headless. Damn, what happened to your hair, Rio? Ask my mom. She has it. Because I know she'll beat my head's ass after I threw it at her. She would fuck my head up. No, the fuck you didn't. Just beat my head's ass. So my brother is just, he's 11 years younger than me, and he says the most treacherous things you've ever. And he told me, he was like, fuck you, bitch. That's why your father is dead. That's what he said to me. We have different fathers. My mom and dad got divorced by the time he was born. But he said, fuck you, bitch. That's why your father is dead. Now, what I'm going to do with that? What you going to do with that? What you going to do when somebody tell you that? I was like, oh, no, sir. So that's when I decided, I said, I'm just going to take myself away from this situation more than put myself in a situation that I can't control myself, because nobody can make you not control yourself unless you have some love vested in it. And because that is my brother, he can hurt in other ways that other people can't hurt. So I was like, I just don't want to be bothered, and not to mention the fact that he's never in my life since I left home in the 90s has ever called and said, hey, Rio, how you doing? But he knows how to send like a message to a bottle. Hey, ask Rio if I could have $300 or something like that. I'm just saying, I'm making an example because I ain't asked you for no motherfucking $300. I'm just saying. But and you gotten way more than that, so let's not. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. But this is what I'm saying, and it comes from generational curses. So what I did is I Googled how to break generational curse, and then I want you to do it. There's some prayers you can say, and you have to keep reciting them every day, because if I don't, I'll have some bitterness and that shit will come across. You're like, have you ever seen somebody that walk in the store? You be like, ooh, he looked like a child molester. Oh, he looked like a murderer. It's because they're so into the things that piss them off, that they're resonating in it, or the things that they do, it becomes their being. And I don't want, when I walk in the room, people are like, he's evil. Do you feel that energy? And you just come in there just pissed off because you in the room. To me, Omarosa. Omarosa, prime example. Good morning. Good morning, Omarosa. Good morning, motherfucker. All right, guys. Well, listen. And Omarosa, I pray that don't hurt your feelings, because who knows what you're going through. My sister used to be her neighbor about 8 years ago. Seventh and Spring. Is it Seventh and Spring? But it's Seventh and Spring. And I would see Omarosa in the parking area on Sundays, mostly. She'd be on Sundays. She would come from church from preaching. Oh my God. That's a whole nother show, Tyra. Well, listen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And I want to say subscribe to my channel. Click the bell next to the subscribe button. That's super important. So subscribe to the channel, comment, and like the video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the Mario Ramon review. And I'll see you next time. Peace. God bless you.